Today I'm going to take you along on a simple walk with my dogs, and in this video I'm going to share some of the mindset training that I do in order to find more positivity and feel more gratitude. One thing that I always do is to change the perspective from a bad one to a positive one. So in this case, I have a car and the diesel is extremely expensive right now, and my car has to go to the mechanic next week, which is most likely also going to cost a good amount of money. So economy-wise, this is a bad situation, but I change the perspective into being so lucky that I have a car. And this is giving me the freedom to go explore things with my dogs and to see the world and to go to the beach every single day. So I basically just change the negative perspective to a positive one. And that's helping my brain to search for the good things. And then I remind myself of why the diesel is expensive right now. That's because of the war. And how lucky am I that I'm not part of that war? I'm not a victim to it. I just have to pay higher prices from the diesel, which is in the whole perspective a very, very small problem. Another thing I'm really grateful about is music, and I listen to music every day, and I am so happy that I'm able to pay Spotify to listen to all this amazing music. I'm very, very happy that we have artists in this world creating masterpieces. So whenever I want to change my mood, I do it a lot through music. And that's just one tiny bit of it, but it's forcing myself to get into another state of mind. One of the reasons why I'm doing this kind of training is because I want to value things more. We take so many things for granted because we are getting used to the luxury, it's getting normal, so we don't even see it. And I want to notice the small, beautiful things in life, and I don't want to get too used to things being good. I want to really feel it. This kind of training is really helping me to do that. I know that I shared this in other videos, but I am so thankful that I have legs because they are taking me amazing places. I'm also very grateful that the dogs are active, fit and well conditioned, so they can come along. And even though Emmy is 10 years old, she is still fit enough to go for longer walks. Good boy! And I'm very, very happy that I put a lot of work into training so that I now have dogs that I can rely on off leash and make sure that they live a happy and fulfilling life. And then I am so grateful for this location. This is my favorite spot. I'm also grateful that it's finally spring, so the dogs can go swim. And I don't have to wear a winter jacket anymore. I am so thankful that the sun is out and the wind is down, because we had a storm just a couple of days ago which led to a lot of damage. So it's nice to have some silence and to not worry about anything. But let's go through neuroplasticity, because that's probably what changed my life the most. I heard it a lot of years ago, but I never really believed in it because I didn't believe that we were in power of our own mind. I just thought that we were as we are and that we couldn't be changed, and we had to live with ourselves the way we were born. Now I know better, and I'm very happy that I do, because it changed my life for the better. And still is. Your brain is not locked into any specific state. It's constantly changing, and that's neuroplasticity. And when you learn to work with that neuroplasticity, you can change your life for the better, because you can change the way that you think and experience and feel. So that's basically what I'm doing, all this, because it's not just some kind of work that you just finish and check off and then everything is fine. It's something you have to work on all the time, because we are very negatively wired as people. And if you don't want to be that, you have to make a choice to train your brain to search for positive things and to feel more gratitude, which is what I'm doing and which is what I'm taking you through in this video. It's a little bit like the gym. So if you want to be strong, you have to keep visiting the gym and you have to keep up with workouts, otherwise you will not be strong. And that's the same with mindset training. You have to keep up with the training, otherwise you will fall back into the old habits and old patterns. Neuroplasticity is there whether you work with it or not, but learning how to work with it consciously is the biggest win in life, at least in my life, and I will never not do it. But without getting into a heavy psychological conversation, Korvost. It's basically that your life is what you focus on and your life is what you make it. I know that if you're in a bad position in life, this is probably the worst thing anyone could ever say to you. I've been there, but it is what it is. And working with your neuroplasticity is going to make it able for you to turn a bad day into a good day and a bad situation into a good situation, or at least a situation where you learned a lot of things. And that's how I do it now, because every time there's a bad situation, I turn it into a situation I can learn from. But I think the hardest part about training your mind is that you're not able to measure it the same way as if you were training your body. So if you were going for a specific number on the scale, you would be able to see when you reached that number. But it's not really easy to do with your mind. It's different. And we as human doesn't really like things that we can't see and things that we can't measure. So I think this is one of the complications that there is about mindset training that is hard for people to believe in, because you can't see it. Look at the still water and the dogs having a good time. My legs resting after a good walk. The sun, the blue sky, beautiful nature, the spring that just arrived. And this is my hidden spot. I'm not gonna share this with anyone because I am always the only one here. I don't think that a lot of people knows that it's existing, so I will keep it to myself to protect it. But one thing that's really important to say and mention when we talk about mindset training is that it's not about just think positive. It's not about ignoring your emotions, and it's not about faking your positivity. It's about changing your attention and your focus. You will still be able to get in a shitty situation even though you think positive. So do I. I still have shit situations in my life. It's not about avoiding them, because that's part of life, but it's about what you do with them. So what I do is that I literally choose out all of the things that I can learn from it, and I force myself to see the good thing in this situation. I used to think that I was a very negative person, but actually I was just very well trained at noticing what was wrong and all of the negative things. So I decided to change this, and the life I have now is much better than the one I came from. I am so grateful that I live in a country like Denmark that is safe, and some people tend to call it boring. I used to do that myself, but after knowing what's going on in the world, I'm pretty happy to stay here, because boring is actually fine after all. I am happy that I have a job that makes me able to do things like this in the middle of the day. I am quite happy that we don't have any bears or anything in Denmark, so the dogs can run around freely without being in danger. I am so happy that I have more free time this spring compared to the last couple of years, because now I really have time to notice that the nature is getting ready for summer, and it's just so beautiful, and there are small things happening every single day. So every time I go for a walk, I see how the trees are changing and the colors are changing, and just In a few weeks from now, everything's gonna look so different, and it's gonna be magical to follow. I am so pleased that I only have 2 dogs. I used to have 4 dogs, and that's just too much. I haven't been sick in over a year. Actually, 2025 was a whole year of not being sick, not a single flu, not a single day at home. And I'm just happy that I'm healthy. I am, of course, very grateful that this place is just 10 minutes from my house. So I can go here every single day. And plus points for the fact that there are growing so many berries and other kinds of food in this forest. And since there is not a lot of people around here, I can have most of it to myself, which I'm looking forward to. I am grateful to finally feel the sun again. Not just see it, but to actually feel it on my skin. That's just something I missed a lot. I am happy to have a drone, so I can show you beautiful locations from another perspective. I am thankful that I was able to go on this walk today. I do have a lot of work and things to do in general, but I took myself the time to go out for a couple of hours, and it makes my soul happy.